I always keep a note in my wallet. It says better to delay than to cause disaster. But that day, right after my plane left the airport, we hit a flock of birds. The engines caught fire and shut down instantly. Even worse, both engines were completely gone. Every move I made next would decide the fate of 105 passengers. I tried to restart the engines. Nothing responded. Then the cabin lost all power. I didn't hesitate for a second. I switched on the auxiliary power unit. The cab came back online. The flight attendants told everyone to stay calm. Passengers thought it was just turbulence. They had no idea I was fighting for our lives in the cockpit. I called the tower for help. They ordered all planes grounded and cleared the runway. Brady got us back, but I knew the truth. We couldn't make it down in time. The tower still held on to hope, but my experience told me otherwise. Our only option was to land on the river. After that, they lost my signal. The dispatcher kept calling me over and over. The nearest airport was only 7 miles away, but I never responded. He broke down because water landings have less than a 1% survival rate. The plane kept dropping closer to the surface. I stayed calm and made every move count. My co-pilot backed me up without question. Passengers started praying. Some even said their final goodbyes. I made one last adjustment to the angle, and the plane touched down on the river at the perfect angle. No breakup, no flip. It glided and came to a stop in the middle of the river. But the real danger was just beginning. I rushed into the cabin. I told everyone to put on life vests and evacuate quickly and calmly. Water rushed in fast. It rose past the windows in seconds. The plane could sink at any moment. My co-pilot was still in shock. A flight attendant ignored the gash on her leg. She jumped straight into action. The front door opened. The life raft deployed. Emergency exits on both sides were unlocked. Passengers climbed onto the wings to wait for rescue. Some jumped straight into the river, trying to swim to the other side, but they forgot this was New York in the dead of winter. The temperature was way below freezing. I reminded everyone to keep their life vests on. I grabbed blankets, doing everything to keep people alive in the cold. Luckily, the Coast Guard spotted us nearby. Air rescue was already on the way. All passengers made it out of the cabin. Boats came rushing in from every direction. The patrol boat pulled up right next to the wing. Passengers were pulled aboard one by one. A pilot dove into the freezing water. He saved a man who had overestimated his strength. 300 locals showed up to help. Everyone worked together in perfect order. People seemed to forget this was a crash. Almost no one survives. Meanwhile, I ignored the danger. I waded through waist-deep freezing water twice. I checked every corner to make sure no one was left behind. Only then did I return to the cockpit. I grabbed the flight recorder, and I was the last one off the plane. With everyone working together, the rescue was done in just 20 minutes. The first thing I did on shore was call my wife to let her know I was alive. But my heart was still pounding. The mayor and police chief wanted to shake my hand, but I only cared about one number, 155. I needed to know everyone on that plane made it out alive. But in all that chaos, no one could give me a count. My co-pilot insisted I get taken to the hospital for a checkup. That's when the union president brought the news. All 105 passengers and crew were rescued. The weight on my chest finally lifted. Relief, joy, disbelief, all at once. It all came out in one deep breath. I pulled off a miracle. The news exploded everywhere. I became a hero in everyone's eyes. The National Transportation Safety Board called me in for a hearing, but I never expected that hearing would turn into my trial.